Is that bar gone?
No, Shauna, it's still there.
Okay, hold on. How about now?
Still there.
Little bar is gone. There's a bigger bar up top, like a long bar up top that's still there.
And I see Jen is on.
Okay, how about now? Is it gone?
Yeah.
1 second.
Now it is. Now it is.
Okay.
Jen, we're going to ask you to mute and go off camera until your time to speak, just for bandwidth purposes.
Oop.
Well, not right this second, but that's good.
Absolutely, that's easy peasy. I'd rather not be on camera.
And we have 252 folks.
Wow. I'm sorry I was a bit late. The US Army had what they thought was a crisis. So they're the Army. I'm not going to tell them they're wrong.
It's okay.
Are the words above my head backwards or forward for you guys?
Correct. They're in good.
They're correct. Okay, thank you. I'll go off camera.
Steve.
So we are open.
Yes, sir.
So welcome to everyone who's joining us.
Steve.
Yeah.
Is it possible for you to stop my screen sharing? I hid my controls.
I'm not the host, you are.
Okay.
I think if you go out of full screen mode, you might be able to find your controls again, Ashana. I run into that all the time.
Thank you so much, Marion.
All the good people joining us. I think you can hear us. We're just finishing up technical difficulties.
Looks good, Ashana.
Perfect.
Okay, then I'd say, Rebecca, we can get started.
All righty. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I am Rebecca Tom from WBEC-East, and no matter where you're joining us from today, I hope everybody is doing well, and we thank you for being here. Thank you so much for joining us for today's WBEC-East Annual Meeting. This is our first signature event of 2022. Yay! As we get started, I just want to review a few housekeeping points. Although this is a webinar, we really want you to be engaged. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns at all throughout today's event, please use the chat box feature. If you're joining on your computer, there should be a bubble at the bottom of your screen that is labeled chat. Or if you're joining from your phone, you're using the Zoom app, at the bottom of your screen in the right-hand corner, you may see 3 bubbles or 3 dots. Just click that and look for the chat feature. When you're chatting, please be sure that you have selected to chat with everyone, not just the host and the panelists. Again, please engage with us via the chat. We cannot see everybody, so the chat is the way that we're going to engage with you. The whole WBEC-East team is online today, and we want to hear from you. I would like to also note that today's webinar is being recorded. So if you know of a colleague or a peer that wasn't able to join us today, we will be sharing this recording in the upcoming weeks. All right, I think I've done enough talking, and I'm sure you're ready for the party to get started. So all that being said, it's officially now my pleasure to begin our program. We will first hear from Cecilia Isaacs-Blunden, Senior Director of Total Rewards at Comcast, who serves as the Chair of the Board of Directors for WBEC-East. The virtual stage is now yours, Cecilia.
Thank you, Rebecca, and welcome everyone. Again, I'm Cecilia Isaacs-Blunden. I'm on the benefits team at Comcast and board chair of WBENC. I've been involved with WBEC-East since 2014, and I'm so proud that Comcast has been a longtime corporate partner of the organization. So I think everyone on today's call knows that WBEC-East supports women business owners and entrepreneurs in Pennsylvania, Delaware, and South Jersey. And as a regional partner organization of the National WBENC organization, we certify women-owned businesses. We also provide education and networking. You can go on to the next slide. Education and networking opportunities, procurement, information, and resources to help businesses grow and empower female entrepreneurs. And so, like so many women on the call today, I've benefited both personally and professionally from the relationships and resources, as well as the sense of community that WBEC-East provides. So because today's annual meeting falls during Women's History Month, I'd like to take a moment to recognize a few of the legal milestones and trailblazing women who are part of the rich history here. So the first National Women's Day was celebrated back in 1909 to honor women in the garment industry who went on strike in New York to protest working conditions. 70 years later, so in 1980, a consortium of women's groups and historians lobbied for national recognition. And in declaring the first week of March as National Women's History Week, President Carter noted that men and women have worked together to build this nation, but too often the women were unsung and sometimes their contributions went unnoticed. Since 1995, the entire month of March has been designated Women's History Month, and which is something that we continue to celebrate today. So who are some of the women that have been part of this rich tapestry? In 1910, Madam C.J. Walker became the first female self-made millionaire. Walker made her fortune by developing and marketing a line of cosmetics and hair care products for Black women, and she was also known for philanthropy and activism. And Madam Walker was doing this 10 years before the 19th Amendment passed, giving American women legally the right to vote. You'll see a note here about the first female CEO of a Fortune 500 company. That was Katharine Graham back in the early 1970s, who became CEO of the Washington Post. And I thought that her comment is particularly germane, that once power was considered masculine, a masculine attribute, but in fact, power has no sex. And that is so true. In the same year that Katharine Graham became CEO of the Post, Congress approved the Equal Rights Amendment and submitted it to the states for ratification. Unfortunately, we're still waiting for the ratification finally, but when the Equal Rights Amendment does become law of the land, of course, it will change the US Constitution to guarantee equal legal rights for all citizens regardless of sex. But in the meanwhile, a tremendous amount of progress has been made. Unbelievably, it wasn't until 1988 when Congress passed the Women Business Ownership Act that we finally eliminated the outdated laws that required a husband's signature for business loans. That act in 1988 also enabled female entrepreneurs to apply for government contracts. So, just a few milestone dates and a couple of the women. There's, as we all know, literally millions of other instances of women entrepreneurship, bravery. And I think because we are on the cusp of another potential milestone with the nomination of Ketanji Brown Jackson as potentially the first Black woman to serve on the Supreme Court, I wanted to close with a quote from her that rings true for me. The privilege of working with strong women role models has been essential to my career and development, and it's crucial to the development of girls like my daughter who needs to learn that they have opportunities. So that's why we're here today. That's why we do what we do. Please feel free to reach out and engage with the organization and folks that you hear from on today's call. And so now I'd love to turn it over to Colleen Lacrosse for a 2021 year in review.
Thank you so much, Cecilia. Thank you everyone for joining me today. So let's talk about where we've been over the past year. We have a SBA grant to support women business owners in the greater Philadelphia area, and I'd love to share our economic impact locally. We helped 15 women start their new business this past year. And through all of our programs, we served over 600 unique business owners, which is a huge impact. And those business owners support over 2,300 jobs in the greater Philadelphia area. And this past year, we also helped our clients obtain over 8.5 million SBA loans, which are essential to helping people survive this pandemic. So let's look at our certified businesses. We are growing too. We had record growth this past year, and we ended our year with over 1,700 certified businesses in our tri-state area of PA, Delaware, and Southern New Jersey. And also important to note that when we surveyed our business owners in December, 80% said they were actively looking to work with other WBEs for business products and services. So it's really exciting to hear. Next slide, please. Our WBEs represent every industry under the sun, particularly traditionally male-dominated industries. So here are some of our largest cohorts. 21% of you are in construction. 11% of you are in professional consulting, and another 11% are in manufacturing and wholesale. It's another 5% separated out specifically into food and retail wholesale, and 9% in marketing, advertising, and graphic design. Our other WBEs are really nicely spread out in all the other industries: healthcare, transportation, IT, HR, engineering, arts, finance. It just goes to show you that you can find a successful women-owned business in every industry. Next slide, please. Our business owners are predominantly small. 80% of our WBEs make under 5 million a year. 48% make under 1 million a year. 18% of all of our WBEs are one-woman show. They are sole proprietor, single member LLCs with no staff. And 29% of our new business owners this past year are one-woman show. So our business owners are small, but they are growing. And we do have some fairly large businesses that represent 50 to 100 to over 500 employees. Next slide, please. And our demographics are changing, and we are becoming more diverse. So while historically 17% of our WBEs were Black, 27% of our new applicants this year are women of color, which is really exciting. We are also starting to shift in terms of the age demographic. So while this past year overall, only 7% of our business owners are under the age of 34, 17% of our new WBEs are under the age of 34. And you will hear from our Next Gen and our Women of Color committees a little bit later in the presentation. Next slide, please. And as you can see, we are pretty widely distributed across our region. So we cover all of Pennsylvania, all of Delaware, and the 8 southern counties of New Jersey. And when we get back to in-person events, we always do our best to try to hit up all of our areas of our region. Next slide, please. So let's take a look at our national network as well, because one of the benefits of being part of WBENC is you don't just have access to WBEC-East, you have access to all 14 of our regional partners as well, plus the national events. And it is as simple as reaching out to the staff in any of the other regions and saying, hey, I would love to get involved in your networking events. Please add me to your mailing list. We have business owners from New York and DC and California and Florida and Texas who come to our events virtually or send their staff who are in the greater Philadelphia or Pittsburgh areas to our events. So please, I encourage you, take advantage of our national network. There are over 16,000 certified WBEs nationally, over 325 corporate members. It is a really robust network. Next slide, please. So let's take a look at a little bit of the elephant in the room. What's been going on with COVID-19? Interestingly, we have had such a year and a half of growth. 31% of our new WBEs this past year launched their business after the pandemic began. That's huge. Now let's take a look at the lasting impacts. When we surveyed our business owners in December of this past year, here are the challenges that they're still experiencing. 43% of you are having supply chain challenges. We know that. And 40% of you are having workforce challenges. 38% are still dealing with remote work. 36% have had a loss of revenue. 19% of you have pivoted. And 13% of you have actually had an increase in revenue. So really interesting to see how the pandemic is still continuing to affect our business owners. Next slide, please. And let's take a look at what we have been doing to serve our business owners. So as part of the CARES Act, we received a grant from the SBA to provide services to help our businesses weather COVID. And here's how we used our funds for this program that just wrapped up. So we served over 130 businesses, and we had 28 contracted consultants, many of whom were other women-owned businesses or WBEs, in everything from finance, marketing, strategy, leadership, anything that our businesses said they needed help with, we contracted consultants in. And those consultants put in almost 1,000 consulting hours for our business owners, and those fees were covered by our program and our grant from the SBA. So we covered almost $150,000 of consultant fees to help these 130 businesses weather the storm of COVID. So we are so thankful that we've been able to provide this support to our business owners and help you all get through COVID. And we're really excited to see where we are going. Next slide, please. Now let's talk about where we are going. Rebecca, I'm going to hand it back over to you to kick us off with our committee chairs to talk about what's coming up.
So much, Colleen. As you all just heard, Colleen just reviewed several demographics about WBEs in our region and what WBEC-East has been up to in the past year. But now it's time to hear about where WBEC-East is going from our committee chairs, who will also tell you how you can become engaged in our network. So I think it's fitting that the first committee that we hear from is the Certification Committee. That being said, I will now turn the show over to Carrie Donovan, President of Priestess Commissioning, and Mark Lawrence, Vice President of Commercial Banking for PNC Bank, who are the Chair and Vice Chair of the Certification Committee. Please take it away, Carrie and Mark.
Thanks, Rebecca. This is a fantastic turnout at this annual meeting. I'm just watching the numbers of participants climb and climb, so fantastic. So if we can go to the next slide, let's talk a little bit about where we are currently in this year, a little bit of a year in review from the numbers, which is everyone knows is my favorite part. So looking at specifically at our RPO, we saw almost a 25% increase in the number of certified WBEs in the last year alone, which, wow, that is amazing. And it's been keeping us quite busy on the certification committee, as you might imagine. So we are currently ranked at third largest RPO, regional partner organization in WBENC. Midwest, WBDC Midwest has about 2,200 and WBEC West has 2,000. So we are hot on their tail, but we are followed by WBEC Metro New York and the Great Lakes WBC. So they're about 1,500 and 1,400 respectively. So very strong numbers for us and significant growth again, just in the last year alone. So really fantastic to see by the numbers how many WBEs we do have in our region here. So the first step to obviously anything WBE related is to get certified. So if you are already certified, this is going to be a great reminder of the benefits of being certified. But if you are still on the fence, you are anxiously awaiting your review of your application, let's review the benefits of the things that you could be looking forward to here. And it's not just for your company and your business growth, it's also for your professional development and professional growth. So there's a lot of great things here. So as a certified WBE, you will have access to the supplier diversity and procurement executives, many of who are on our council and attending here today. And this is not just at the members in our council, but also at all national US corporations, federal, state, local government areas, who are looking for third-party certified women-owned businesses. So this is just a fantastic opportunity just to get some exposure to all these corporations that may not otherwise know of you. When you do receive your WB certificate, that is something that is often asked for on bids and for contracts. So you'll have access to that. And again, that renews every year. You have to reapply for recertification. So always keep that up to date. Your ability to utilize the WBEC seal and the women-owned logos. The women-owned logos, what you'll see there on the left-hand side of your screen, and that's really more for a commercial product use. The WBENC seal is going to be more for services, but again, you know, you'll get access to how to use those logos and put them on all of your marketing materials that you really want to have public facing there. So that's fantastic. You'll also be included in WBEC's database of certified WBE. So what better way to be able to go out there than to have somebody search for your name, your service, things of those nature. So fantastic way to really have someone else basically marketing for you in a bit. That's not something you have to do actively. You also get to participate in all WBE networking events. So this isn't just for our RPO. So obviously we are focused on things in our area, but if you happen to be traveling, if you happen to do a lot of work in another area, you can go to any RPO's events. So what you're going to want to do there is take a look at the WBENC calendar and look at events, and it has all the WBEC RPO events all on one calendar, so you can kind of see what's happening on, and always virtually. It's fantastic to call in even if you're not in the area. You'll also have access to national one-on-one matchmaker meetings. So this is something that your information will be in this database, and a corporate will say, I need your service. And they're going to be able to find you and set up a one-on-one meeting with you just to talk about you and your services. Amazing opportunities. And you'll also be included in our local network of women entrepreneurs, and you have access to all the education benefits that WBEC-East provides, including mentoring and eligibility for awards, not only for your particular service, but also operations of your company. So fantastic things. A reminder, if you aren't taking advantage of all these and you're currently certified, it's a nice refresher. So let's talk a little bit about our certification committee. So we are absolutely committed to integrity. We do not make the rules. The rules that we carry out are established by WBENC. All RPOs do it the same way. And so that is the standard. So all we do is execute on those rules. Everyone gets reviewed by the same standards, and it really goes back to, do you own, control, and manage your business? Do you have independence? So that's really important that we're all doing the same thing. And we are not making up our own rule stick to which to certify folks. We need to be anonymous and impartial. It's one of the committees where you may only know 2 members, and it could be the chair and the vice chair. Otherwise, you have no idea, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So our committee is made up of volunteers that could be WBE owners, employees of a WBE, and corporate members. So you're not supposed to know who reviewed your application, and know that we are keeping your information safe and under wraps, so it's not going anywhere that it's not supposed to. So very important. Our committee members are also rigorously trained. We're not just going to throw you to the wolves here. We make sure that you know what the requirements are, that you go through a process of understanding what you need to do in your role on this, and how to work together to resolve the questions that do come up, and how to meet those WBENC standards. So it's a pretty rigorous training committee to get there, but it's so important to make sure that we're all using the same rules to apply. So as you heard before, we have so many new WBEs, and that has been quite a challenge for our committee to keep up with. So I'm going to toss it over to our committee vice chair, Mark Lawrence, and he's going to tell you how you can get involved, because we certainly are looking for volunteers as our numbers continue to grow.
Thank you, Carrie. Good morning to our entire audience. I hope everybody's having a great Friday. As we've heard, the certification committee has been extremely busy, and with the excellent support of the WBEC staff, we look forward to another great year of continued strong application volume. But we need help. We certainly can use everyone's help that would be willing to consider us, especially to our experienced WBEs and our corporate members. Put your knowledge to work for the continued growth and success of our RPO. We are seeking currently application reviewers and site visitors. Currently conducted on a virtual basis, our application reviewers, together with a staff member, review new and recert applications. They summarize the structure, the operations, and the mission of the firm, and then we put forth the recommendation to the committee. Our ask is that our reviewers join at least 6 meetings per year. As a site visitor, we need those too. Those individuals actually meet with the applicant and are asked to conduct 1 to 2 site visits a month. These site visits usually take 35 to 45, maybe up to an hour. The experience that I personally have had with the certification committee these last few years has been nothing short of amazing. I'm working along with a very experienced team. I've had the opportunity to review new applications and present my findings and recommendations to the group. Soon, I started to do some site visits. This process and my journey was really transforming and eye-opening. To review an application, learn about the applicant on paper, and then to virtually meet some of these applicants through the site visit process provided such unique views of these potential members. It was a very fulfilling opportunity. So we encourage anyone that might have an interest in pursuing a role in the certification committee to please contact Colleen Lacoste and get involved today. Thank you very much.
So much, Carrie and Mark, for telling us about the benefits of certifications and ways that you can leverage your WBE certification. Another way to leverage your certification is by showing up to programs and events. That being said, I would like to now introduce Vicki Lamb, President of Promo Victory and Chair of the Programs Committee. The stage is now yours, Vicki.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We have many great programs here at WBEC-East, and the pandemic has not slowed us down. In fact, we have remained very busy. Let's talk about the 2021 impact that we created. Since the start of the pandemic, we have offered 183 programs virtually with 8,835 registrants. So regarding about the returning to the in-person events, we do plan to have in-person events. So it's going to be a hybrid approach with in-person events starting the 3rd quarter. So we're going to be having virtual meetings that's going to be continuing, and we are committed to serving all our business owners throughout Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Southern New Jersey. And also we are recruiting. We invite in experienced members of our network to really join our committee. So we're looking for committee members. So please reach out. So let's talk about the 3 signature programs that we have. We have doing business with corporates. Check out our lineup of doing business with sessions. WBEs are invited to hear directly from our corporate members and ask questions about their procurement opportunities. And then we have educational workshops. Throughout the year, we offer sessions on finding your funding, how to hire, QuickBooks basics, digital and website skills, and so much more. And last but not least, we have WBEs at the water cooler. Join our quarterly small group WBE networking sessions where you get to meet other WBEs. It's a great opportunity for you to network, learn, and share ideas and resources. And we meet once every quarter, and we always have different hosts and a different discussion topics. So please make sure to check out all the upcoming events and to sign up for them at WBEC-East.com/events. Thank you so much.
So much, Vicki. While WBEC-East events are open to all, we do have some specialized, or should I say, targeted programming. One of those target audiences is entrepreneurs under 40. And with that, I would like to now introduce Marian Nilsson, CEO of Aperture Information Services and the chair of the Next Gen Committee. Please take it away, Marian.
Thanks so much, Rebecca, and thank you all for joining us today. As you can see on the slide, Next Gen is dedicated to nurturing the next generation of the WBEC network, both WBEs and supplier diversity professionals. Here at WBEC-East, our committee focuses on the WBEs, developing interactive programs and networking opportunities for them and their employees. While the committee isn't currently looking for volunteers, we're always open to program suggestions. And we work with Colleen and Ashana at WBEC-East, so you can filter suggestions there or myself. And we look forward to seeing everyone in person later this year.
Thanks so much, Marian. I can't wait to see what the Next Gen Committee has in store for 2022. As I mentioned earlier, WBEC-East does offer specialized programming. Another one of those target audiences is women of color entrepreneurs. That being said, I would like to now introduce Sharon Maker, Manager of Diverse Supplier Initiatives at AmeriHealth Caritas, and the chair of our Women of Color Committee. The stage is now yours, Sharon.
Hello, everyone. It's glad to be here. So I chair the Women of Color Committee with Vice Chair Mary Gano. So we decided we wanted to just go into a different direction this year, and we wanted to focus on making sure we highlight women-owned businesses in different demographics by our committee. So we wanted to be inclusive and have an inclusive environment. And so what we did was we created kind of like a schedule of like social media posts that we're going to be getting out with Liz's approval. And then what committee members are going to do is they're going to highlight businesses who fall in those demographics. For example, for Women History Month, we have some posts that you'll see that'll have, women-owned businesses that target different things. If they're supporting women, they're supporting women causes. Going on further, when we get to like Indigenous People Month, if we have women-owned businesses that fall under, Indigenous people, and that's how they identify, we want to make sure we highlight those businesses. If we make purchases with those businesses and we are intentional with our purchases, we think that we can just highlight and help businesses grow by giving more awareness to their business. In this day and age, it is people who are zoomed out. There are people who are tired of being in a house. Some people go and visit businesses that are women-owned, or we spend our personal money with those businesses. We're asking that you take that post that you'll see in our Facebook group, which we'll put into the link, and you'll be able to share that out, tag the Women of Color Committee for WBEC East, and make a little slogan or something about what you felt about that product or service with that business. This will generate awareness for these businesses. This like free PR, but it's us being intentional about our purchases and supporting our network. So back to you, Rebecca.
Sharon, I'm excited to see the Women of Color social media campaign kick off, and I look forward to working with you this year. As you can see, there's a lot of ways to engage in the WBEC-East network through our programs, but another way to get engaged with us is by recognition. I would now like to introduce Dr. Erica Patterson, Director of Contracts Management and Supplier Diversity at Philadelphia Gas Works, and Chair of our Awards and Recognition Committee. Please take it away, Dr. Erica.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Hopefully everyone can hear me. I'm actually out of the office today, as you can see by my hat, and I'm actually hiding out in the nail salon ladies room. But like I always tell my son, you got to show up no matter what. So here we are. As Rebecca said, I am the chair of the awards committee. We are super excited about this year. As you know, for the last 2 years under our wonderful fearless leader of Peggy, we definitely learned how to pivot within the last 2 years and bringing our virtual program, our awards and recognition program virtually. So this year, we're definitely looking forward to kind of maybe resume that platform or potentially moving into an in-person event. We'll definitely let you know if that does happen. But wanted to kind of share with you the upcoming categories that we're looking for nominations for the WBEC Awards. As you can see, the categories are on the slide, and also for our corporate members as well. I won't go through them, so please take a moment to screenshot this, or if the slides were shared out, please take a moment to share that and maybe even tag it on your desktop. One of the things that we like to do this year is we want to be intentional. As a supplier diversity professional and a supply chain professional, that has definitely been the word of choice that I've learned throughout the last 2 years, and even now, is that you have to be intentional about what you do. So on behalf of myself and Barb, the vice chair, and also our former fearless leader, Peggy, I'm going to keep bringing you in because I just love you so much. But we want to be intentional about liking, sharing, and advertising when you do see the launch of the awards programs for nominations. You want to be intentional about sharing the word. You want to be intentional about also submitting applications or submitting nominations for each of of these categories. It's a great opportunity to give praise, to recognize, and to award WBEs and council members for all their hard work throughout the year. So I really look forward to seeing everyone throughout the nomination process. And if you're looking for a committee that you want to be part of, we are the ones, because we are definitely hardworking. We're definitely here to bring the celebratory effect to everything that we do, just as the same as WBEC-East. So thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing everyone throughout the year.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Erica. I may be biased as I work for this organization, but yes, I think the awards committee is one of the best committees. And it looks like there's some awesome opportunities to recognize people in this network. Dr. Erica mentioned that the winners will be honored in the fall of this year, but prior to that, there will be a large event happening early this summer. And I'm going to ask George Ericott, Strategic Sourcing, Sustainability, and Supplier Diversity Consultant for Communications Test Design, to tell you all about it. The stage is now yours, George.
Great. Thank you very much, Rebecca. We got a great lineup of people today presenting wonderful ideas and opportunities for all the WBEs and council members. And I want to encourage you all to participate wherever and whenever you can. Now, the national conference for WBENC is coming up in June, Atlanta, Georgia, and I encourage everyone to give great consideration to attending this in person. This will be our first opportunity to be in person in quite a while. I am the chair of the conference committee for our RPO. Carol Philp is the vice chair, Carol from CPI Creative. The purpose of the committee is to ensure that WBEs and council members are able to take advantage of the opportunities offered at the National Conference and Business Fair. And we'd like to facilitate the on-site networking, facilitate it through ideas that we propose to you when you're down there, as well as our own networking event that we put on every year, or we have for quite a while. This committee was developed years ago when several of us recognized that there are so many new WBEs and council members attending at this huge event, and we can go to the next slide here, that it was difficult for navigating through all the wonderful events and places that we go. When you take a look here, it is the largest event for women business owner, and you got 3,000 attendees plus, over 300 exhibitors. The meet and greets that they have are wonderful, and a plethora of speakers. There is 300,000 square feet of space for expo booths, one-on-one meetings, and other opportunities. I think that the greatest opportunities are the impromptu opportunities when you're walking down the hallway, bumping into people that you were dying to get that chance to sit across the table from, but you didn't get the one-on-one. Well, there they are. I think that many of us have found this is the best part of attending the conference, plus the fact that being such a good group of people in our RPO, we're always recommending and creating little invites and meetings between one another, because as all our council colleagues know, we do talk amongst ourselves, and if I don't need something, I know somebody else who does. They take a look at all the sessions that they're going to have. As I mentioned, there are over 40 speakers. They're going to hear from experts on industry-specific topics. There's going to be some great best practice sharing, and of course, much, much more. The WBENC organization is ensuring your well-being is the #1 priority. COVID may have settled a little bit, but it's still out there, and precautions to protect your health and peace of mind will be in place for the events. Next slide, please. So what what I would like you to do is look at this and enjoy, but take note of the website. I'd like everybody to ensure that they get more information. And it was, the website was actually a few pages before this. It's www.webank.org/conference. Hotel blocks are already open, I believe. And you want to make sure that you get either in those hotels or something right around it, because as I said, it's the impromptu meetings, which often are the best, absolute best opportunities for you. So one last thing about me, I've been doing this since, almost since our RPO started. We now have a structure to it. I am basically retiring, so I'm looking for more people to join our committee, Carol, and join with Carol, so that we can continue this. I will continue to support our RPO. I've been told by Liz and the others I'm not allowed to leave. So I'll make sure that we continue this conference committee and have strong events in the future. All right, let's go with the presentation.
The National Conference and Business Fair is one of the largest events of its type anywhere. We bring together women-owned businesses with corporations and with government entities who are looking to do business together. They're looking to understand each other. They're looking to develop together.
One of the things I really like about WBENC is it gives me a chance to meet new suppliers as well as connect with existing ones.
Such a great way to network and learn about what's trending in the area.
It's really important that if you are a woman-owned business, you need to certify because of the business opportunity, the networking opportunity, and also the educational opportunity. These three things go hands in hand together to be successful.
I love the fact that this is not just about like how do we just sell more products or like buy more products, but it's like intentionally how do we think it more holistically and connect with one another who are better problem solvers.
I have access today to major corporations that didn't know my company existed. This wouldn't have happened if I hadn't been here today. It's been amazing.
It's an opportunity for us to get to meet with medium and large size companies who are specifically looking to do business with women companies, women-owned companies. They're looking for very specific things, and they know that the women of WBENC are going to be able to provide that for them.
There's an incredible spirit amongst the women-owned businesses to help each other out. And I think that's unique amongst the WBENC family and organization, and something that's really impressed me over the years.
Well, I think anytime you attend a WBENC event, you know there's going to be high energy. I think you get that many women collected together in one place, we're going to have energy. And I think there's just a great sense of optimism.
It's inspiring to hear these stories of these women who have stepped out on faith and thought of this one idea and turned it into this amazing business. One piece of advice: get involved, get involved, get involved.
To make things happen, that's just a wonderful feeling, and it's just magical is what I would say.
All right, thank you so much, George, for reviewing the conference committee. And yes, George, as our resident he's for she's, you're not allowed to leave. After not being able to meet since 2019, I think the conference in Atlanta will be a blast. It is a large event, and some of you joining us today may be new to our network. You're not sure how to navigate an event like that. You may be wondering if WBEC-East has people to assist, and good news, we do. I will now introduce Barbara Boucher, President of Boucher Design and Communications, who serves as the chair of our Envoy Committee. Please take it away, Barb.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. And I'm just like blown away with all the information that was just thrown out. And I've been certified since 2001. And every time I listen to these events, I find more and more information. So I'm the chair of the Envoys, which is a group of seasoned WBEs that are here to help you, because if you go through and you see all that information that Kerry put out and the logos and the information and how to network, it's just mind-boggling. And sometimes you just need somebody to talk to one-on-one to go through those weeds with you, to just give you little tips and tricks that maybe we've learned over the past few years that that just kind of helps you navigate the system. So we're here for you. This is a group of a number, I think we're 15, but I could be wrong. And we're here to help. Above, I have our address, envoys at WBE East. It's an email address that you can contact us. And from there, we'll set you up with a one-to-one with people. And we're just here to help. So in our last committee, we kind of brainstormed, like, what is it that is so great about WBEs, which you've all heard through this presentation. So we put a little video together. It will introduce our envoys. Maybe there'll be somebody that you recognize that you can reach out personally, but anyone could just email us and we'll be happy to set up time. So I guess that's all I have to say, and let it roll.
Thank you, Barb. That was a beautiful video. Our envoys serve on a regional level, but there are some WBEs that go even further to serve on a national level. To explain that in greater detail, I will now introduce Peggy Del Fabro, CEO of M. Davis & Sons and Vice Chair of WBENC's National Forum. The floor is yours, Peggy.
Thanks, Rebecca. It is so great to see everyone this morning, and I love seeing the faces of the envoys in that video because I've been an envoy for a long time, and what a terrific group of women. I have learned so much from that group over the years. Before I jump into my comments, I want to recognize the leadership of our national forum. The chair is Patty Massey. She's from the Midwest. I am actually the first vice chair, and our second vice chair is Hannah Keene, who is from California. So we represent, the National Forum. So what is the National Forum? The National Forum represents all WBEs via forum representatives for each RPO or regional partner organization. So what's a forum representative and how do you get there? In WBEC East, our path is through the envoy group. And prior to that is getting engaged with our committees. What do the forum representatives do? They represent WBEC East WBEs, and we bring information from a national level back to our RPO and those WBEs. And then we also share information nationally about what we're doing in WBEC East. So it's a flow of information that goes in both directions. It is a commitment, and if your business has more of a national footprint, it is a tremendous opportunity. What we're doing right now is we just finished up WBEC Listens. which covered all the different RPOs and the different programming that they offer. I know it's been mentioned, but one thing to remember is that your certification is national, so you can take advantage of events in other regions if that makes sense for your business. Next up is going to be the WBENC Forum, Listen and Connect, where we're going to talk as business owners, what's going well, what challenges do we have? I mean, where else do you get that interaction and support from another woman business owner? It's so meaningful. And then we have Forum First invitation. So if that's something that you're interested in, the path to being engaged on a national level is to start with committee membership and get involved regionally, then get involved with the Envoy group, and then beyond. So I'm happy to be here. I'm always very proud to be from WBEC East. So I'll give it back to you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Peggy. All right, so everyone, you just heard a lot of information about our committees and a lot about getting involved and engaged with WBEC East. But I will now turn the stage over to the chair of the WBEC East Council, Valerie Shearer, Supplier Diversity Consultant for First Energy Corporation. Please take it away, Valerie.
Thank you, Rebecca, and good morning, everybody. It is so great to see so many people joining this morning. There were a lot of good presentations before me, a lot of good information on WBEC East. And I have to say, you know, I've been here for quite a few years now, and WBEC East is like a family. If you need something, you can reach out to somebody. Everybody is always willing to help, whether it be a council member, a business. Everybody is just like a family, and there are so many advantages of becoming certified for WBEC East. It's just, you get the support you need, you get the opportunities out there, and it is a great network to meet new people, make those connections, because you never know, you know, business to business connections, corporate to business connections, and sometimes corporate to corporates. We call each other and say, hey, we're working with this company, they're doing a great job, and we'd like to share their information with you. So there's so many good reasons to be a member and join in the activities. And be sure, as was earlier mentioned, nominate somebody. If you know somebody who's doing a good job, please reach out and nominate them. I'm in my second year now going for the chair of the council. My co-chair is Dr. Erica Patterson. I also another great person on the council, as she was presenting earlier. So what I can say is, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to either one of us. We're happy to answer any questions. If you need some direction, we can always point you in a direction. And like I said, it is one family, and we are here to help out everybody any way we can. I also this morning would like to thank you to all of our sponsors. We have quite a list of sponsors, and we thank them for all the support they provide. Without our sponsors, we really couldn't do a lot in all the activities and programs that we put on. So becoming a sponsor is something that is, you know, very beneficial to everybody. So there's quite a list there. I won't go through and read everybody's name, but I do want to give a big thank you to all of our sponsors, as well as our WBE sponsors. It not only takes the corporate sponsors to make this happen, it takes the WBEs, because this is about you and helping you grow and getting you out there and, you know, helping your businesses come to fruition. So another big thank you to everybody out there who supports WBEC East. We really appreciate everything that you do and everything that you participate in, because the participation pays off as well. So a big thank you and a happy Friday to everybody.
Valerie, as a nonprofit, WBEC East is truly appreciative of all the companies that help keep us going. There are also some special organizations that WBEC East is in partner with, and I'm going to have my colleague Steve Damweber discuss those relationships. The stage is now yours, Steve.
Thanks, Rebecca, and good morning, everyone. I hope you all are enjoying our presentation for our annual meeting today. So far, there's been a lot of great information, and there's more to come, so definitely stay tuned. For those that I haven't met yet, my name is Steve Danweber. I am the new Outreach and Engagement Manager for WBEC-East. Today, I have the privilege to introduce the next few speakers who will be discussing national engagement and updates. I would first like to introduce our speaker, Chief Operating Officer for WBENC, Jill Sasso.
Well, thank you so much, Steve. Wow, what a fantastic presentation this has been today. I'm really happy to be here on behalf of WBENC and want to share with everyone how much we truly value our partnership with WBEC-East. WBENC relies on our regional partners across the country to carry out the WBENC certification, as Carrie shared with you earlier. And WBEC-East is one of our largest regional partners in the U.S. and an extremely vital member of the WBENC network and family. Liz and the WBEC-East team, who have all presented today, are collaborative and innovative, and the programs and events that have been outlined here today are some of the most original and inventive in the network and show their deep understanding of the women's business ecosystem. So kudos. Their engagement with the women's business community and support in every crucial area for women business owners proves out the outstanding numbers they've shared with us today. So 25% increase in certified WBEs in 2021, wow. And 43%, if I did my math right, since 2017, 9,000 registered for events last year alone. I mean, that is phenomenal. So kudos to you again, the WBEC-East team. You not only set the standard for a regional partner, you far exceed it. We are very proud to be part of the annual meeting today and to work closely with all of you. Congratulations on the great work, and we look forward to a fantastic 2022 as we continue to grow our network together. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you for all that great information on WBENC. I also recently discovered this morning, Jill is a fellow Cowboy fan, so hopefully that doesn't get everyone too riled up, but I did want to throw that in there, being a Philadelphia resident. So now I want to move on to our next speaker and introduce from the SBA, Supervisory Business Opportunity Specialist, Jen Tilden. Take it away, Jen.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jennifer Tilden, and I'm essentially the head of minority contracting for both the state of Delaware and Eastern Pennsylvania. And I have a pretty heavy hand also in South Jersey. So I basically cover the same area as WBENC. You may have heard me, met me, seen me in presentations for our flagship 8A program. That's a 9-year business development program for sociologically and economically disadvantaged individuals. Basically, that means that we've created a program that is designed to help level the playing field, because we realize in some cases like Black Americans, Native Americans, Hispanic Americans, subcontinent Asian Americans, and Asian Pacific Americans, that they haven't had the same access to capital, they haven't had the same access to education. Please be aware, we have a number of people in this area who are in the 8A program because they are in a male-dominated field. I saw so many construction companies on today, and that's wonderful. I love to see women in traditionally male-dominated businesses. Y'all might want to talk to me about 8A. In addition, the SBA has a heavy hand, obviously, in the woman-owned small business certification process. I know that has been very frustrating to a lot of people lately. This is the certified.sba.gov platform. I apologize for it. If you are having issues with updating, with uploading your certificates, your information in either SAM or Certify, I'm always happy to help. You can always shoot me an email. I'm about to drop my information into the chat. Please be aware that currently 5% of the federal budget is automatically set aside for certified woman-owned businesses. The 2022 National Defense Authorization Act kicked that actually up to 7%. And just to give you an idea, Health and Human Services last year spent $942.5 billion. So 7% of that is $1.32 billion that is automatically earmarked for businesses just like yours. And we have people that can help you certify. Please don't think you may get these emails, pay me blank amount of money in order to help you certify. We have people that can help you for free. Please don't fall into that trap. If you ever get an email that looks dodgy, please, you now know me. And please also realize, looking at my photo here, the importance of updating your information as my hair is now green. So please make sure that you also update your information regularly. But that's our contracting side. Briefly, I'd like to also mention our office and the offices in Jersey and Delaware also have additional information about what we just ended with the PPP loans and the EIDL loans and the SVOG loans. If you have any questions about COVID loans, I don't speak banker, I speak a lawyer, but I can get you someone that speaks banker. So you can also reach out to me for any questions regarding SBA loans. But please be aware, I am here for any of your minority contracting questions. I personally work for the federal government, but I have contacts at the state. I have contacts in most cities, and I'm free. I'm about to drop my information into the chat. I'm free. You've already paid for all of our services when you paid your taxes. So please reach out anytime. We look forward to hearing from you. And thank you so much, WBEC, for having me today.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you for all your updates and on the SBA and in general. We appreciate your time and joining us today. I next want to introduce our leader and president of WBEC-East, Liz Walsh.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And true to fashion, we are right on track. So I'll get right to it. You've heard so much, and now we're going to kind of bring it all home and tell you how to get involved. So next slide. These are the folks who get it done. All of the panelists who spoke are our volunteers. So they just dedicate their time, talent, and treasure to us out of their love of the WBEC network and their commitment to supplier diversity and to getting women-owned businesses into supply chains. The staff are the ones who are behind the scenes and make it all work. So we're so blessed to have these wonderful volunteers, especially Dr. Erica Patterson, who's joining us on her day off. But these are the folks, you'll see their names, their contact information is on our website. I can assure you that, typical working hours are what, 8 to 6. We're pretty much open 24 hours a day because I start my day with emails from Steve at 7 a.m. and end it with emails from Colleen at 7 p.m. So all of the staff that you see before you are available and we work for you. So take advantage of us. Next slide, please. So we talked a lot. Here's what I'm really excited about. Where are we going? We wanted to use this annual meeting to talk about, give you the stats and some information about where we've been. Each of the committee chairs talked about what we're doing next going into 2022 and beyond. Wanted to share some pretty exciting news. So one of the things that we're most excited about for our WBEC network that Jill talked about, we have jurisdiction over the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the state of Delaware, and 8 counties in South Jersey. For our SBA partnership, we have Philadelphia and the 4 contiguous counties. So we're really concentrated in Southeast PA. There are over 160 designated women business centers that partner with the SBA, WBEC-East being one of those 160. There are 3 in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. One is out west, one is more in the central part of Pennsylvania, and we service southeastern PA. we noticed that there is a lack of resources kind of going up and over a little bit into the Lehigh Valley. So we do have plans to add 2 additional counties to our footprint for the SBA and be able to provide some more intensive services to individuals, not just in Philadelphia and the surrounding counties, but also in 2 counties in Lehigh Valley. We also received generous funding from one of our council members, CLA, to investigate opportunities related to Encore entrepreneurship. So we've all been hearing about folks who by choice or by health reasons have not gone back into the industry that they were pre-COVID. We want to find out how we can best help them. So we're doing work on an Encore entrepreneurship program based on individuals, usually of a an older age, who are starting their business for the first time, and the special needs that they may have related to that. They left their previous career and now they're going to get into starting their own business. So we will be doing work with Encore entrepreneurship. We had, for our Desserts and More, we are a nonprofit organization. We have an annual fundraiser each year, typically in November. This year, we likely will be having it in October. It's a wonderful event. It will be in person. You will gain at least 15 pounds by the time you leave, because what we do is we partner with all of the local women-owned bakeries and restaurateurs, and we have a wonderful spread for the desserts part. And the and more part is talking about what our impact has been on individual constituents that we have served. And we also are combining it this year with our award celebration. So we anticipate a very big event and opportunity for folks to come out and network with all of us. Last year, we started, through our Desserts and More program, very specific scholarships for 2 of our signature programs that we teach under the SBA programming. Jumpstart is a 5-week program, and it's really basically designed for, do you really want to start your own business, or do you just not like your current boss? And we help folks kind of decide that. Then we can lead them into, if it is that they really do want to be an entrepreneur, we lead them into our Kauffman Foundation Fast Track program, which is 10-week intensive program, and folks graduate with a valid and comprehensive business plan. So we will be offering additional opportunities for scholarships for folks to provide those funds directly to an individual to be able to participate in the Jumpstart and Fast Track programming. And the other big news, why you may not have been able to reach some of us, is because we're all busy looking at a relocation of our Philadelphia headquarters. We have a satellite office in Pittsburgh. Our Philadelphia headquarters, we've been in existence for 26 years now, and we thought it was time to move. So we will be looking at, we're actually in the process of looking at better space to accommodate the needs of both the WBEs and the new entrepreneurs that we serve. We will stay in Center City, Philadelphia, but we'll also have a grand opening once we do relocate. So those are some of the big ticket items that we're working on for 2022. Next slide, please. So you heard a lot about, how you get involved. Here's your roadmap. It's very simple. For those of you who are on the phone who are WBEs, you've already gotten certified. We want to make sure that you participate in the Maximizing Your Certification webinar. Both are free. How to Get Certified and Maximizing are free webinars. We want you to make sure that you're engaging with folks who may not yet be aware of the women-owned logo, and those contracts that you're working with that do require it. So put that women-owned, put that WBEC certification logo on all of your marketing material. It's really important. We want you to attend networking and procurement events in WBEC East, but also outside of the region. Jill mentioned that we had the WBEC Listens series, or I think it was Peggy who mentioned that. It really was highlighting all of the offerings throughout the 14 regional partner organizations, which are basically the boots on the ground for WBENC. We all have different states and different territories that we address, but this is national certification. So there are no geographic boundaries for you to learn from others. We'd like to see you attending the national conference. George gave a great overview of the importance of it. Again, it will be in person this year, the first time in 2 years. We know everyone is excited to be out and about. There will be very comprehensive COVID protocols still in place. So your comfort level should be okay to participate. There will be a lot of people there, but again, we will be making sure that we're following all COVID protocols. Then we would like to see you become a sponsor and support new entrepreneurs. You can do that through the scholarships for Jumpstart and WBENC. Jumpstart and Fast Track. You can do that through participating in any of our committees, because that enables you to have a mentoring relationship with some of the newbies who are coming in to our network. Apply to serve on a local committee. So if you go to our website, www.WBEC-East.com, under engagement, there is, back to the last slide. Thank you, Ashana. There's an application form under each of the committees. So you can read a description. We will get information out following this webinar about each of the speakers and the committees, but you can find it right on our website now. There's 8 committees that we work with who really do all of the work of WBEC East through the committee. We'd love to see more folks get involved. There is a committee application process, very quick. It's a jot form. We'll take you 2 minutes to fill it out, and then we'll get back in touch with you. You heard about the local awards. We would love to see you. Some awards you can nominate yourself, some you can nominate other folks. So we'd love to see you take time to look at the awards. The release will be in June. So we're hoping to get a lot of award nominations. WBENC National offers pitch competitions all of the time and lots of executive education. We didn't even touch on all of that because we only asked for an hour and a half of your time today. But I would encourage you to go to WBENC's website to see all of the different executive educational programming that they have available. It was mentioned that the path to national participation is to get involved as a WBEC East envoy. And Barb showed the information about that, the little video. We have a website or an email address specifically for the envoys. It's one of the more heavily induced contributions that you would need to make, because the envoys really represent us and serve as our ambassadors out in the whole world. Leading from envoys to forum representation is a great way to get recognized at a national level. So this is the pathway. We've made it as simple as possible, but you heard in one of the in the video for the national conference, network. This is your network pathway. Next slide, please. And now I have the great honor of introducing Joyce Lewandowski. Joyce is the coalition director at Vision Forward, which is a national nonpartisan nonprofit initiative headquartered at Drexel University for individuals and organizations committed to gender equality. We wanted to make sure that we kind of started with Women's History Month and rolled it down and end it with Women's History Month. Joyce will be highlighting a few historical elements from the organization's current exhibit in the lobby of the Kimmel Cultural Campus in Philadelphia, the seat at the table, as we honor and celebrate Women's History Month. Take it away, Joyce.
Thanks so much, Liz. So I'm Joyce Lewandowski. I'm the coalition director at Vision Forward. Can everyone see me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So essentially, Liz invited me here to talk a little bit about Women's History Month and Seat at the Table. Cecilia already got us kicked off a little bit in the beginning. Thanks so much, Cecilia. So if you can go to the next slide, I'm just going to jump right in here. I know that people have busy days here. This is a shot of Seat at the Table, which is our exhibition that is located in the lobby of the Kimmel Cultural Campus in Center City, Philadelphia. If anyone has been there, you've probably stumbled upon it and you've seen it and wondered, what is this? If you have not been there, please try to visit. The last day of the exhibition is next Thursday, which is the final day of Women's History Month. So if you could go to the next slide, essentially the exhibition touches on a lot of different aspects of women's history, starting with the ratification of the 19th Amendment, which was ratified in 1920 on August 26th. This did grant women the right to vote. More specifically, though, white American women were given access to vote. Black women were facing a lot of different barriers with voter suppression. We know that's still happening today, but we really want to be honest about some of the ugly history with the suffrage movement, which is that it came with some racial divides at times. One thing that was interesting about voting rights, and I think that I want to share this as a New Jersey resident, and a lot of you are probably New Jersey residents, is a fun and not so fun fact is that we can lose our right to vote at any time. We could lose any of our rights at any time. Certain New Jersey women actually had the right to vote starting in 1790 if they were considered property owners. So a lot of times women got property through an inheritance, or maybe they were widowed. And then with that, though, the power of a woman's vote didn't quite sit well with a lot of men. Women were seen as a political liability rather than a political asset. And in the New Jersey Constitution was revised to remove women's voting rights in 1807. So one of the biggest parts of sharing the history of just women's rights in general is that it's taken a lot of work, it's taken a lot of partnership, and it's taken a lot of collaboration and fight and rigor to really get to where we are. And so the suffrage movement came with a lot of civil disobedience, and it also came with a lot of, excuse me, working across aisles and partnerships. I'd like to talk a little bit about, let's go to the next slide. One aspect of the exhibition is we have these bicycles as an installation. They represent a level of liberation for women and basically their ability to move physically forward and legally forward in life. So when the bike was invented, a lot of women didn't have to depend on men to get around their cities and connect with each other. And so the bicycles represent a lot of just women moving forward. So you'll see that we have 4 different bikes. The first bike starts in 1920, and that was the first presidential election that women were able to vote in. Only 15% of women voted. Of course, remember, this is majority white women who were voting. And the 19th Amendment did take some time to actually get into effect before women could get to the polls. And also keep in mind that there were a lot of counties and states that were hiding from women the fact that they were allowed to vote. So a lot of women didn't turn out because they just didn't know that they had the ability to do so. The 4th bike is our 2020 bike. I won't go through all of the percentages. The exhibition is massive and there are a lot of different numbers. I don't want to overwhelm people with those. But in 2020, compared to 1920, where 15% of women voted, in 2020, 68.4% of women who were registered to vote turned out to the polls. This means that nearly 26% of eligible women did not register to vote or turn out to vote. So we're really big on just making sure that we're reminding women, you have this huge piece of power. Remember, men took it right away because they did not like seeing the power that the vote had. So we're really big on making sure that we're offering voter registration at all of our programs and accessibility, and also a reminder that local elections really matter a lot. And I know that as small business owners, you know that, you know, the power of working very closely with your city councils and your mayors. It's really important to have that representation. Let's go to the next slide. Just an example of, we have a lot of pioneering women we feature throughout the exhibit. Shirley Chisholm, she's one of our favorite women to feature because she just was so outstanding and advocating for just human rights and social justice work. So she was the first Black woman elected to Congress in 1964 as a New York State senator. And she was famously quoted, if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. She also was the first Black candidate to seek nomination for president of the US from one of the two major political parties. So despite many odds, she actually received about 10% of the vote. We have a lot of other women featured: Mary Church Terrell, Emma Gonzalez, Ida B. Wells, Gloria Steinem, just to name a few. So really, we really want to get as many people to see the exhibition before it closes next Thursday. I'm doing a quick little plug, if that's okay, Liz. We have a program next Thursday called A Conversation About Women in Government, A Seat at the Table. This is at 3:30. I'm going to actually include a link to the event details in the chat for people. It's in person. We're not having a hybrid option. And we have some Philadelphia representatives who are speaking. And it's the last chance to see the exhibition and walk through and really enjoy it. So I will be there. I'm emceeing it. Hopefully I'll get to meet some of you who are in the Philadelphia area and want to stop by. But this just barely skimmed the surface for Women's History Month stuff, but happy Women's History Month. We're really, really honored to be able to connect with you in this way today.
So, thank you. Thank you, Joyce. So that was a great wrap up, and we should remember we're all still carrying that folding chair, and you are making history in this month. And Women's History shouldn't be confined to just a month, because we're making it every day, and bringing that folding chair along with us. Whether you are here as a council corporate partner who is dedicated to supplier diversity, or one of our women-owned businesses who we serve. So a lot of information was given out to you. Here's how you can connect with us. Please take a screenshot of it, but we will also be sending this out. If you have not signed up yet for our newsletter, I would really encourage you to do so, because we always make sure that it's chock full of information, both about what we are doing, but also partner organizations. We really try to have it serve as a repository for all things entrepreneurial, for folks to get access and make that folding chair a more permanent fixture. Our website is, again, also full of information. I should note that our website was designed by one of our WBEs, Boucher Communication. You heard Barb Boucher talk on behalf of the envoys. So our website is really easy to navigate, whether you're on a desktop or if you're looking at it on your phone. My cell phone number is 215-936-9392. Again, 215-936-9392. You can connect with us at any time. Next slide. Just want to remind you that we are a nonprofit organization. Everything that you heard about today happens because of the donations that we get. So we so appreciate our sponsors. We appreciate individual and corporate sponsors. We're thrilled with anything that you're able to donate to us, and we appreciate it either through the scholarships or through just operational funding that you share with us. One company that I noted, and I apologize, that was missing from the slide deck of the sponsors, is Corteva Agriscience. They were closing down a business, so they're helping to furnish when we do move. And I did see some things coming in through the chat. We are remaining in Center City, Philadelphia. We will continue to have hybrid events so that we're able to. One of the good things that happened out of COVID was the reach that we were able to make, because folks can join when they're joining from their computer anywhere. We're all anxious to get back in person and be networking face to face, but we will continue to have a hybrid presence. But our Philadelphia office, our relocation is important. And because we're on the cusp of it, Corteva was able to donate a lot of furniture to us. It's actually in my garage right now. We didn't want to move it to our current headquarters to have to move it again. So we want to thank Corteva. So donations can come in time, talent, or treasure. We'll take any that you can offer. Next slide. You whether cash donations or your participation in our committees and in the work that we do. We work for you, and we love the network. We love that we have this opportunity to work for women-owned businesses and supplier diversity professionals. But we're available all the time for you. But we do need your resources and your assistance as well, whether through time, talent, or treasure. And then in closing, so first of all, I hope you all learned a lot and reach out to us. We'll follow up through email, sending you the slide deck. And this is a recorded webinar. So we'll be sharing that so folks can look at it again on their leisure and take screenshots of what they need to. But in closing, I would just like to recognize that there is a national push for everyone to kind of stop what they're doing today at noon and pray or reflect for the folks who are going through the atrocities that are happening now in the Ukraine. So that's obviously impacting a lot. It's impacting the whole damn world, but it is impacting a lot of women and children in Ukraine, as well as the folks who are on the fighting on the front lines, both Russians and the Ukraine. So would just like to ask that you join us in prayer or reflection and sending out just healing thoughts to the world at this time. So that's it. We're going to wrap up. True to our nature, we're right on time. If you want to get something done, you get a woman to do it. So we did it, and we thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
Great job, Liz and team.
Thanks, Carrie.
Great job. Good program.
Always great, you guys. Wonderful.
I think we should have set Liz up with a rap. Liz should have been singing this out, like pumping us up, like pump it up.
Go back to
dance.
Now Erica can go back to getting her nails done.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Jen. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Anytime, if you want to do more classes, just ping me.
We certainly will.
Okay.
Joyce, perfect.
Great to see everybody.
Yeah, great. I'm going to get down to the Kimmel.
Yeah,
everyone.
I'll go with you, Barb.
All right, let's check. Okay, call you.
Oh, yeah, y'all let me know. Joyce, I'm gonna be on campus. I'm on campus a lot, so we're doing a lot. So we gotta definitely connect. I'm getting the Alumni of the Year award. Just want to put it out there. That's just for young distinguished alumni. So
Awesome. We've collaborated with WBEC actually a few times in the past.